Good evening. I am Casey Terranova. I am tuning in for Barbara Walters. She's currently on a mission trip, so she's quite busy. This evening we are interviewing one of the most controversial persons in today's society, Mr. T.E. Frazier. He developed a community all on his own based on many of the beliefs of B.F. Skinner, and who is a very prominent behavioral psychologist. Let me start with a few questions for you, Mr. Frazier.
Okay.
Please explain a bit of the foundational beliefs that pushed you to form Walden 2.
Oh, well, we formed Walden 2 because we wanted to do something. We wanted to find out what's the matter with people, why they can't live together without fighting all the time, what they really want, and what they need to be happy. And you can't do that in our society today.
Okay.
In the outside society, politicians guess at what the right answers are and spend their time persuading people to think that they are right, but they're only guessing, then they haven't proved anything. And what we're doing at Walden 2 is proving these things.
Oh, wow, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what does a day in the life of an average community member of Walden 2 look like?
Well, all the community members, they wake up in the morning and they choose to have breakfast whenever they want. There's several times we have set up.
Okay.
And then each community member also they're supposed to partake in a 4-hour work day each day. It's 4 hours or less depending on how quick they get that specific job done.
Okay.
And after that, they have their leisure time to whether pursue arts, reading, socialize. The only restriction that we really have is that the 4-hour work day.
4 hours of work.
4 hours work.
So it's very interesting to me. Explain that to me. So I work as an intern over 40 hours a week for Barbara Walters.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 60 because I'm an intern.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. And you're telling me that each member only has to work 4 hours a day?
Only 4 hours
week?
a day.
How do you have a
If
society
that.
function that way?
Well, you see, in the outside society, people are not productive is the difference. And they're even less productive when they work underneath the boss. And in our society with the 4-hour workday, there's no supervision. It's that job when you get it done. And every member of our community contributes. So even the women in our community, they're contributing 4-hour workday rather than being stuck at home doing household chores.
Okay.
So we're a self-sustaining community, and we consume less at Walden 2 as well.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I do want to take a quick cut. Barbara Walters, she sent her crew to Walden 2 themselves to look at one of the most controversial issues in Walden 2, which is child rearing. We will talk to one of the managers of child rearing and also one of the mothers themselves.
Hi, my name's Megan. Welcome here to Walden 2. This is our child care facility. As you can see right here with me is Colleen, one of our birth mothers here. And this is Ariana, her birth child. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good.
As you can see, we're working on our second. Me and my.
I see that. That's so
child,
exciting.
sweetheart.
That's
She-
so exciting.
I mean, we had her when we were 17, so we're working on
Right.
starting that family early. And
That's and just so you know, that's fairly typical for the community members here at Walden 2. Our mothers or our parents generally start having children around 16, 17 years old, so that the mother is finished with her childbirthing years by early 20s, 24, 25 at the earliest. As you can see, you're 17 now.
that's correct.
17, and she's well along her way with her second child, which is right on track with the normal progression at Walden 2.
Well, and I think that's important for us because we get to, have all of our kids and have, a supportive relationship with the caregiving center, so that we can carry on a productive life. And, me personally, I'm really into music, so I'm trying to get into that. And my fiance, my husband now, is really into agriculture, so he's going to be moving into that once we're done having kids. So.
Right, and that is the basic premise here at Walden 2. We believe that children should be raised as a community, not in a single family home. So all of our children are raised in our child care center. They are separated by age. Generally, newborns are in a certain area, and then it progresses throughout the ages. They all live together, and then once they are about 13 years old, they age out of the child care program and become active members in the Walden 2 community. So they take on their own apartments in this community. They live by themselves, or they share. Generally, they share an apartment with one other 13, 14-year-old, someone of similar age for them. But that is our basic belief. Moms or dads usually spend about 45 minutes to an hour playing with their young ones a day. But the rest of the care is generally left to us as the caretakers. And we've seen great results with this program. Our children are healthy. They're happy. As you can see, Ariana loves to be with her mom, but she's very active. She likes to play and explore her surroundings, and we encourage that here at Walden too. So yeah, I think
I like that we can stop by and look in on them and just making sure that they're taken care of. But we know that our child care managers they're taking care of our kids with good hands, and just that social aspect of being with all kids their same age is important for us as well.
Right, and it leaves the parents with enough time to pursue their own hobbies and engage in the community fully without the burden of having a child to take care of, especially for a mother. What are you doing there, little one? She, can pursue her own interests without having to stay at home and take care of the mother as you would typically have to do in the outside society. So we believe that this is a very progressive way of child rearing, but as the old adage goes, community raised children. Mm-hmm. So, thank you. Community. It takes a community.
All right, and we're back. So that video raised a lot of interesting questions, I'm sure, from our viewers. Let's start trying to sift through all the material we just saw. So you're trying to say that, dare I say, there are requirements to be a mother, that not everyone should be a mother, so God-given rights, some people would argue, not all people should be partaking in the child care activity?
Oh, well, our child care facility and process is a great example of the behavioral engineering process that is occurring at Walden 2, which is our goal at Walden 2.
What is behavioral engineering?
Well, behavioral engineering is the manipulation of the environment to achieve a specific response, a desired response. Okay. And we know that the requirements of good child care are well established right now. And where we have failed in the outside world is getting good child care at home. The control of behavior is an intricate process that cannot be initiated without years of training. You can compare it to getting your license before you drive a car or going to med school before you can be a doctor. But even when the mother knows the right thing to do, often she can't do it in a household which is busy with other affairs as well. In other words, home is not the right place to raise children. Using the system that we have at Walden 2, we can manipulate the environment and achieve these desired responses that we are looking for, which ultimately is happiness.
Could you give a few examples of the manipulated environment that you create?
Well, with the children, we use certain ways, like they have to wear pieces of candy around their necks to know that they can't have it yet, that they can only have it at a certain time. And having to wait for their soup, like half of the children will be able to eat their soup or start eating their soup before the rest of the children, and this eliminates jealousy. Through these processes, like I said, we can eliminate negative emotions and thought processes such as jealousy and other things within our community members.
So that's behavioral engineering, shaping the environment into a way to have the desired goal of happiness.
Yep.
So that creates happiness by taking out the negative emotions. So training them through child. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, by eliminating negative emotions, the only emotion that they perceive is happiness, that they're happy with their current state.
So that they don't feel. So all of that is taken out of them at a young age, so that they can just only enjoy happiness.
Yes, many of them don't even understand the concepts of things like jealousy.
Wow. Okay. So, I do have to say, with all the behavioral engineering going through, we have heard rumors that you compare yourself to God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
very controversial.
if you say so. I am the creator of Walden 2. I am manipulating their environment to achieve the response that I see fit. And I have given them this life that they desire, that they are now happy with. So how can you say that God and I are different?
On that note, I think we have to cut to commercial. Conan is on next, and I think he would enjoy this. I'm sure we're going to get lots of phone calls. Thank you, Dr. Frazier.
Yeah, thank you.
And have an excellent day.